Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message after the beep.
Hey Beardos, it's Peter. I'm just calling again because wanted to give you something and wanted to say how much everything's been. Your podcast has been amazing so far. Loving the latest commercial. I died laughing with the couch commercial. Oh my god. I also wanted to call because I thought someone would have given you a wonderful Jennifer Coolidge impersonation, but no one has. And I remember you asking for that. But God, it was just like the 4th of July. Made me want a hot dog real bad. Or God, do you know these gays? They're trying to murder me. God. Anyways, there's something funny that I just embarrassed myself for y'all for. So, yeah, I love you, and keep going on.
Good evening. This is Beards and Sundries Podcast News, your one-stop news shop every Sunday, with your host, Jay. Another host, Anthony. And another host, Joe. We're your Beards and Sundries hosts and news anchors for Season 5 of Beards and Sundries.
Welcome back to the Beards and Sundries News Network.
Hello, Anthony.
Oh, I'm receiving word. Anthony's still funny man.
Oh, the hilarious Anthony.
Funny looking.
Well, yeah. That's accurate.
Okay, there we go.
Your words, not ours.
Those words came out of your mouth.
I know.
Well, that's right, guys. It is time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries Market, the shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and I just paid $185 to be told to turn off, and then back on my AC unit for a reset.
Yay! Don't you love that? I'm Anthony, the monster in your dryer who's stealing your socks to use as cum rags.
Joe?
Ooh, I'm scared stiff.
Joe's weed whacking source.
But you heard it here first. And I'm Joe, and if you'd like to come over and install some hardwood flooring with us, you know where to hit us up. But that means that today's sundry item is home ownership. Beardos, the three of us grew up with the American dream in mind. You know, house, car, family, all that stupid bullshit. Well, let me just tell you this here and now. The American dream is dead. As you may remember from our episode last week, it's nearly impossible to afford an average two-bedroom apartment anywhere in the U.S. And today, we're going to chat about an even bigger milestone, an actual factual house. Buying, moving, fixing, replacing, insuring, yes, all the absolute sheer joys that come with homeownership. After the break, we're going to talk about some handy tips around the house and some helpful tips for when it's time to call in a professional. And then, even later on, we're going to continue the same format we've been doing after Beardo submitted sundries, since no one has spoken out against it, and also because, well, as Trixie and Katya always say, it's our show, and not yours. But before I make yet another trip to Lowe's for a part that I've never heard of before in my life, how about this week's voicemail?
Finally, Jennifer Coolidge called.
And it wasn't
know.
Jodie Foster.
Peter, how'd you get her in the same room as you? That was so good.
Wow, yeah. We know what you did. You didn't impersonate her. Good job.
We know you went and got that hot dog. You didn't have to want
It's
for
Peter.
long.
He's the one trying to kill her.
Are you implying Peter is her stalker?
Good for you, PETA.
Good for you.
I mean, she was right there in the room with him on the phone. Didn't you hear her?
I did. Yeah, I was there.
She at least
After.
supports his stalking, or he threatened her. Either way.
It was the same vein as when Stewie gets shit, what's her name? That singer, the one that sings Snowbird,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
the Canadian one.
Yeah.
Anne Murray.
Anne Murray.
Yeah.
He has her at gunpoint in the living room, and he's like, "Spread your tiny wings in thy way," and she's like, and the moose outside is like jamming to it. That, but with Peter and Jennifer Coolidge, of course.
Well, I loved that voicemail. Thank you.
Me too. Call and leave more impressions of things. Somebody
Yes.
call and leave a Jodie Foster for us.
When I was a little girl.
We're leaving the voicemails for the Beards and Sundries market with all the lamb. Got a sale on lamb chops.
Yeah, everyone, take notes from Peter because that was an amazing voicemail.
That was incredible. Thank you very much, Peter, and we love you too.
Yes, we love you. Also, I want to give a sidebar really quick. If everyone hears me just suddenly dart out of here, it's because I've left the gate open, and my dog probably found my cat, and I'm still working on training that one. So just ignore me if I run away.
That's so weird because, like, every time we come to visit, the cats are in one place, under the bed. Well, and then usually Blanche
Well-
comes out first to hang out, and then we'll usually see Merlin, like, dart behind something real quick, but that's about it.
Or Merlin living in your bathroom sink.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's the funny part is the cats, like, always hang out by me in the bathroom. So I will go use the restroom. They're there.
Yeah.
Never poop alone.
I do not.
But along that vein, Joe, do you think I could stock my bathroom with sundries from aisle 4?
There's definitely some veins in the bathroom, if you know what I mean. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now today, it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as 3 home-owning gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Terrific.
Wow.
Better than home ownership.
Yeah. You know what's better than homeownership? Waterboarding.
So it's funny that you say that because my coworker and I had this conversation one day.
It's funny that I said that.
It is. It's funny. It's
I'm
hilarious.
am
You
I
see me
funny
laughing.
man, Joe?
Yeah. You see me cracking up right now, right? Yeah. This is my jovial voice. But we were talking about this one day because he has a friend of his who owns a house who's always bitching about home ownership. And I was like, look, I get it. Home ownership can be a bitch and you have to do stuff that you wouldn't have to do if you were renting. However, you know what is kind of really nice about home ownership? We've been in this house a little over 11 years and we have like well over $100,000 in equity in it. Like there's just money sitting in it no matter what we do with it.
That is the annoying part, is you have to maintain stuff on your own, but then I am sitting here going, fuck, I have equity.
Yeah.
This
Got
was
equity.
an investment. Damn
That's the good part about the bad part is like there's that, you know, that pesky little housing crisis going on right now. Oh my god. But it is nice and secure a little bit to have this house because buying a house right now makes me, the thought of it makes me want to take a swan dive off of the top of the garage like Pocahontas.
Oh my god.
Well, we did buy at like a really good time because we bought in 2013 and we got a really ridiculously good rate compared to what the rates are now.
Yeah,
We did. We got this house in April 2013 on Anthony's salary alone. So my name's not even on the house. It's Anthony's house technically.
But we're married, and so you know, as long as we maintain our legal rights as a married couple, wink, wink, go vote. Then no matter what happens, this house is yours.
Yeah, I bought this house in 2015 when rates were also low on my own salary. And so I was really, especially compared to now, I love my interest rate. Love it.
Oh, I've looked at interest rates now, and it's insane. I don't know what's going to happen when I need to buy a new car. Hopefully, I won't need to do that for a very long time.
I can tell
because
you. it's a little bit painful
I
because
want to do it.
Even
I'm-
more so than it used to be.
I'm used to less than 2% interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked in and bought this used Mustang. And I was like, 6 point, what?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he was just like, oh my God, this is a really good rate. I don't usually do this lately. He's like, I haven't been giving out this rate lately. People are usually higher. And I was like, I'm on the good end of the spectrum?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my Mustang back in 2020, used, obviously, but like it was 3.9%. And I looked at like brand new rates with excellent credit. Like Toyota, we were looking at, what was that car that we were looking at, Joe?
The Corolla Cross.
That's the one. Just as like we're sort of fantasizing about what we do when we move up to Minneapolis and like consolidating down to one car with me working from home. And brand new, excellent credit, their target rate was like 9%
Yeah.
for the loan. It was
Yeah.
insane.
And
that's, I mean, I couldn't even imagine.
which I bought my
just-
Highlander new in 21, and I had a 1.9% interest.
I just
Which
checked
w-
mine because I have my computer in front of me, and mine's 2.9. So, thank God.
Yeah. I mean, that's so wild. But you got your car in 2020 as well, right?
No, I got it in December 2021, right after we got back from Hawaii.
I couldn't remember whether you got it before or after 2020 because I remember it being pandemic time because of like the vehicle availability.
Yeah, there were like 6 cars in the lot on the
Yeah,
other side.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, going back to, we've got a great rate on the house, and so I don't want to go back in and buy another house right now.
I know, I'm
Yeah, I
spoiled with
know.
my house rate also.
But
Especially,
it's just, it makes me wonder if, because I watched this happening, and I don't want to be too fatalist about it as Jay is sitting here disciplining his dog. Perks of homeownership, folks. You can have your dog make as much of a mess as you want.
One of
mark?
my perks of homeownership is I have doors that I just close to keep the doggy in. But I'm also not training him to not chase cats. So,
That's also true.
yeah, I'm working on that, so we're getting better, slowly but surely.
But yeah,
Slowly.
I wonder if there are lending institutions that are lending like property companies bunches of money at super low rates to like purchase like I'm wondering if corporate rates are insanely like different than consumer rates because I just watched the US doing this shift towards giant like these mega, property companies, and then the average US Americans just, I mean, you have to rent. There's no option there. And it's just the system is built against you at this point. We were so lucky to get it on the market when we did. Like, it just, I don't think, like, coming off of the 2008 housing crisis and then getting a house in 2013, like, I just don't think that it would have been possible at any other time in our life.
Oh,
yeah. Yep,
Especially
all
now.
the companies are making it impossible.
I don't know why, but this reminded me of something that I watched yesterday or listened to yesterday, where it was talking about government debt and how deep in debt we are as a government, and people were asking what is the debt and where does it come from, and they're like, well, what it is it's people buying bonds, and all I could think of was back in like World War II era, whenever the
Yeah.
U.S. was just like buy bonds, and I'm like. I love how the government was like, spend money, go in debt with us.
I like to think about that sometimes. Like, why can't I go that far into debt and just nothing happens? Because the U.S. is pretty fucking high in debt, and
We got some debt.
I don't think their phones are going off 20 times a day with a robocall from some collection agency. So how do I get some of that energy into my life? So like I can just go into debt and no one bothers me about it, and I can just keep going to debt and keep military spending when I don't need to.
Well, because they also have the benefit of being like, oh, so the terms on these bonds are coming up. So what we'll do is we'll just sell more bonds to pay for those terms. And it's just a constant revolving fund.
It's a whole little Ponzi scheme.
Which that's actually how corporations work in general. As they're paying down debt, they'll come up to a moment where they're like, oh, well, our building's paid off, so we'll just finance it. We'll pull out a, I don't know, mortgage on it or something like that. So all they're doing is just constantly shifting debt. Mm-hmm. Something comes
Yeah, at the end
due,
of
we
the
pay it with
day-
something else.
Like, no business is out there to make money off of the business they're operating. It's this, like, fucking flim-flam behind the scenes, and that's where the actual money gets made. It's like real estate, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so wild because I just think of like restaurants is such a great example of this in the modern US, because you watch these chain restaurants that are going under, things like what was it, Red Lobster, where they're
Yeah.
talking about the unlimited shrimp is what did them in, and I'm just like, no, it's not, because like if you look at their financials, what did them in is the fact that the company maintained debt constantly.
Yeah.
No matter how profitable Red Lobster was, they maintained debt. So the whole thing is that they weren't planning on any sort of downturn. They had to produce income year over year. They had to always have an increase. And so companies aren't necessarily failing. They're just failing to plan, and that's nobody's fault but the business owners, and we continue to bail them out as if we're all shocked that, like, oh no, I can't believe Red Lobster is going under. I'm not going to pay $20 fucking for chicken Alfredo from Red Lobster, bitch.
Absolutely not.
And also, restaurants run at thin margins regardless. It is
Yeah.
not a massively profitable business.
Oh, you're making money off of your liquor sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
a
it is
restaurant loses their liquor license, they will go under like that, because
Yeah.
the only place they make good money is from the drinks.
which is why they're so expensive, and which is why I'm like, I'll take 10.
We were at a restaurant recently, and I know we're not doing home ownership, but whatever, fuck you. But we were at a hot pot restaurant, and I looked at the menu, and I took pictures of the beer prices, because a bottle of Miller Lite, Miller fucking Lite, was like $5.39. It was like $5 or
That's not-
$6 for a bottle of domestic beer.
I hate to say it, but that's not bad.
I know.
I was like,
and that's the worst part.
$5? Wow. Where were you
You
again?
remember? Did you guys do Thirsty Thursdays in Stillwater at Eskimo Joe's?
I went a few times, yeah.
Oh
I
my
never did.
god, that was an insane night. Like, wasn't it like $50 or 50-cent domestics?
When it landed on like 50-cent pulls from like the drafts,
Oh
people would
yeah.
run to the bar.
Yep.
Because it was like, what, every 30 minutes they'd spin it? And it would land
What
on a different
wild
special?
fucking night that was. I swear, I don't know how 20-something me is alive to
Metabolism.
be almost 40. But anyways, back to home ownership. I still
Yeah.
think like a lot of property companies are just that's a industry that's an industry. We need to regulate a whole bunch of industries in the US, but that is one that is super anti-American. It is so antithetical to the idea of the American dream to have these property companies like owning all the land and property to where you're never going to get your 322 with your white picket fence. It's not going to happen.
Which, that home ownership goal is the entire reason the 2008 collapse happened and the deregulation of the housing market by a
Yep.
Republican president, which this is what I've referred to this before. Took regulations off banks, and they started giving out literal shit loans and to people that couldn't afford them. And then
Yep.
so everything started just collapsing, and it created this massive bubble that popped. And that's how the market crashed so terribly.
You know, I feel like, and answer this for me, Jay, because you probably know, what happened with that debt on the back end? Did the U.S. government buy it all up off of these private companies?
I actually don't know. That would be interesting to look up. Now I'm interested to read about
Because
that.
I'm kind of curious to find out if all they did was they created a housing bubble so that they could turn some quick cash, because companies do that shit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a whole thing. It's the whole reason. So, you know what's a fun little fact? I don't know if I've signed a non-disclosure agreement anywhere about this, but fuck it if I did.
You don't work there anymore.
I don't work there anymore. But anyways,
not
cellular
valid anymore
companies is a really, really great example of this, because you go into these agreements for your device for the full price of them. But what happens with this a lot of times is that you purchase this device on a payment plan, and those companies turn around and sell off your payment plan to a third party to turn some quick cash.
Yeah.
Because
And then
they
you're
pay-
stuck with a Margaritaville machine.
It's exactly what it is. It's economics, man.
It's the same with mortgages. I mean, I got my mortgage, and maybe a year later, I went to a new bank. I was bought out.
You know what's funny is my mortgage has not changed hands. I thought it was going to a few years ago, and weirdly it hasn't.
Mine within a year.
Real quick, that South Park Margaritaville episode, guess what year it aired?
What,
2006.
2008?
2009.
Oh, yeah, it was
Oh,
about the
yeah, that
crisis,
makes
so it would have
sense.
been 0809.
And nothing has changed,
I
including minimum wage.
I love when they get to the end of that episode and Randy's so excited about his Margaritaville too, and he's like, "Oh, see, you pour your favorite salsa in the top, and it comes out the bottom."
You got a salsa dispenser. You just pour it in the top. Like, ugh. And it's so Randy Marsh, too.
Yeah.
It is.
By that stupid shit.
It's so fucking. And yay, the economy did send its only son.
Oh, God.
What a fucking great commentary on America. They do so
Yep.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's still true to this very
Yeah,
day.
it really
Well, then
is.
on top of that scam, then you have the scam of all the service companies you can hire to do stuff. Like, look at HVAC and plumbing and how easily they can cheat you, things like that.
God. And they do. They just fucking fuck you.
When they say these days it's better to just quit school and learn a trade, they're not fucking lying. Because
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are cleaning up, literally.
For example, my intro, I know about air conditioners enough to figure things out. Well, a couple weeks ago, we had a power surge or something, and my AC stopped working. And so I turned it off, and I pulled the little breaker outside and was like, I'll leave it off for a few seconds and then plug it back in and get it going. And it wouldn't cool down. So I was like, well, fuck. Either my capacitor got burnt out. It better not be my compressor, because that's thousands.
It was your flux capacitor. You need more,
Yes.
plutonium?
I think so.
Yeah, sure.
So I called a company out, and I was just like, yes, I'll take the after hours pay, because I'm not waiting till tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go with the fucking after hours pay.
It was
Well,
a little.
it's fucking hot as hell outside.
Well, that's it. It was 105 that day. And so I was
course.
just like, we're on a stretch of triple digits, and I'm not going to do this. So he came out. Well, I turned it off a couple hours before they came out. Well, all that did was reset the compressor that apparently had a lock come on of some sort.
What?
Because of the power surge.
A lock?
It's some sort of setting in there that sets it on, that puts it on so it doesn't damage it. I don't know the exact term for it, but it
So
basically.
you have to call somebody out to maintenance it?
Nope. What happens is you just leave it off for 30 minutes, and then it resets itself. Because when he got there and I turned it back on, it worked just fine.
Oh my god.
And,
So what did he fix?
basically, he told me that it doesn't need cleaned. It looks good. Everything's working great. He checked the coolant on it, and he's like, everything's doing great. Your pressure on it's great. And he goes, I'm sorry that I had to come out, and I'm sorry that I have to bill you, but I'm not billing you for anything but the actual fee for having to come out.
Which is
That's
still
the
$185.
$185.
That's before anything.
That's
For just getting in the
that's just-
vehicle
that's
and
just
traveling
going out.
to
him
your
driving
house.
out to my house at 7 p.m.
I would
what's
love to
funny?
charge anyone $185 to just drive my car to one spot.
So it felt like IT, like I called the IT help desk, but this time they just charged me $185 to be like, turn it off and back on.
Oh my god.
And I told him, I was like, I
Ugh.
did, but I did it for 10 seconds because I'm thinking computers. And he goes, yeah, you have to do it for, I would wait 30 minutes and then turn it back on. He goes, and that should reset it. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Why does it have to be 30 minutes?
I don't know.
Have you been outside in 30 minutes for an 105-degree weather before? It
I know
fucking
my
sucks.
house jumped 10 degrees in 2 hours, which
Yeah.
wasn't too bad, but
because we're all baking in the oven that is this planet. Because whatever, we're not doing climate change this week. We're back to homeownership. Okay, so I recently saw a fun. Speaking of newer builds, because Jay, you live in a house that was built in 2012. 12. I saw a comparison that showed different lumber that was used for house construction, and it showed two different 2x4s. One that was in a house that was built in like 1930 something. It was like one of those Sears houses that you buy out of the catalog for like
yeah.
$17.
Yeah.
And then it showed a 2x4 that was used in a new build, like in a construction site that day. And the wood quality, because we're growing and chopping down so many more trees these days to do quick construction, the quality of the wood is just trash. And then everything else in the house is trash too, because they're using the cheapest things they can find, cheapest finishes, just slapping these houses together with Scotch tape and hope, and then charging starting in the 300s. Those are signs that I drive past all the time now, and I'm just like, these houses are standing on barely anything, and you're charging this much for them for people that make $7.25 an hour because the minimum wage still hasn't moved yet. And then we're just doing this dance. We're dancing around in this American nightmare.
I remember when I bought my house, my neighborhood had a sign, because it's a new build neighborhood. I call them starter homes. They're just typical 3-bed, 2-bath, nothing fancy. I pulled in and remember the house saying starting in the 130s or something like that. And that was way back in 2015 when housing prices was lower. I know, way back when I
Oh my God, 9 years ago, you could afford a house.
Now the sign says starting in the 250s, and the houses are no different than what I have now.
No.
I'd venture to guess they're even worse,
Wouldn't shock me.
because they're throwing them up so fast nowadays, and then claiming that there's a shortage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, although the newer houses have tankless hot water heaters, and I kind of want one.
Yeah, but you can buy one of those.
I
Just put it
know.
in.
Yeah, Jay, you can just pay for it.
I'm trying not to buy new things, even though right now, just an hour ago, I purchased a brand new refrigerator because I was out of town and mine died.
I recently learned why why garage fridges basically exist in America and have become such a common thing. Back in like the 50s or 60s, I think, if you wanted your refrigerator to be picked up for like collection, you had to remove the front door for safety reasons, because those old fridges, you couldn't get out of them if they sealed. It used to be an urban myth, but it's actually true. They would seal really well. So if you wanted it picked up, you had to take the front door off. And a lot of people, instead of bothering with that, they would just leave it in the garage. And that's how the garage fridge became such a staple of Americana.
Look, our working fridge is in the garage.
Our blue collar fridge is in the garage. That's what I always think of it as, because it's like dingy, and there's usually scratches on it. It makes funny noises, and you just keep like beer and random shit in there. So it's like that's the hard working fridge. That's the boomer fridge. Is what that is.
Yeah, it is.
That's the boomer fridge.
It's like our laundry room fridge that is just like, it has absolutely, I was going to say no chill, but it has all the chill, because it will anything that's on the top shelf, it will freeze.
Yeah. And we moved that fridge into that laundry room, and it barely fit through that doorway. Like, there's a couple scratch marks on the door frame, and we were just like, all right, that's the next person's problem now if they want to get rid of it, because it's living in there forever.
This is permanent. If it dies, it is now just a storage cabinet.
Basically,
Correct.
yeah. I
Yeah.
hope it lives until we move.
Yeah, it's just, I think that's the part about home ownership that annoys me, is now you have to front the cost on all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, at the end, as annoying as it is at the time, you build equity, and when you're renting, that shit does not happen. And then the other part about it is, like, even when you're renting, there are so many lease agreements that are skewed so far in favor of the landlords. It's insane. Even whenever I had an apartment back in like 2005 or 2006 or whatever at Oak Park Village in Stillwater, and I say it by name because those guys can get fucked. We had a hot water our hot water heater went out. And so we had cold water. And we had cold water for a month and a half. And we kept telling them, like, hey, our hot water heater is not working. We've checked, like, all the basic stuff, and it's just not working. We need somebody to come out and fix it. And at some point I was like, hey, are you guys going to at least give me, like, some kind of, like, you know, something off my rent? Because you're not giving me anything. You're not giving me hot water, which is supposed to be included in my rent. And
Also, it's
the
required by
lady
law.
so the lady was like, no, it says right here in your agreement that we have XYZ amount of time. And I was like, whoa, I was asking nicely. And then you got all fucking defensive immediately. So anyways,
Well,
that
maybe
place
she's
was
dead now.
awful. Well, so they finally they finally sent somebody out, and it took him like 5 minutes. He just came out, did a couple of things. He was like, oh yeah, it's good to go. And I was like, we waited a month and a half to have hot water for you to come out here for 5 fucking minutes.
Quick side note, guys. If you're hearing a little bit of a droning noise in the background, our neighbor's mowing their lawn right now, so sorry.
Oh yeah, I think
sorry.
last week I kept hearing the cicadas.
No, that was me. I just go outside and scream. So
Oh well, yeah, I get it. I want to do that all the time. But yeah, I think another thing that sucks about leasing is you are at kind of the helm of the property owner. Anything that they own, they're just gonna kind of do it at their own leisure, and they're gonna, unless you get a really terrible one, they're gonna follow it by the rules that are written out. And
yep,
they'll just kind of tell you to fuck off.
yeah. And there's that joke about how hell's filled with nothing but lawyers, but I don't think so. I think it's full of landlords and slumlords and
They're trying to rent out space in
company
hell
owners.
for you.
yeah, they're yeah now leasing, but it's already full. They're painting over the windowsills down there. They're just painting over all those demons and flies on the windowsill with that horrible white paint.
Just imagining they go to hell, and Satan's like, oh yeah, once you buy a house down here, you can decorate it with anything you want, which means that you'll actually have a pretty good life here. But until then, you got a lease.
And to make money is real hard. Rah, 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 rah. But
You can just pull
yeah.
yourself up by the bootstraps. You'll figure it out.
Oh my god. No, that phrase is only for boomers.
I'm gonna start saying it to them.
I want to start saying it to corporations like, hey, how come you're failing? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Save some money. What are you doing to prepare for this?
I'm so glad you brought it back to corporations because I have one fun fact, or maybe a not so fun fact. I recently learned that the new CEO for Starbucks, instead of relocating to California, he's planning to super commute on a jet 1,000 miles to the office.
I saw that.
And
What?
the idea that anyone thinks it's a good idea is mind-blowing to me.
Oh man, the idea of being rich enough to be like, I'll just hop on the jet to go to work.
So is he
I
taking the jet
couldn't believe
every
it.
day, both ways? Like,
If that's what they mean by super commute, I would think so.
I could imagine them like flying there during the week, like on a Monday or whatever, staying somewhere that they rent because, you know, they're rich, and then flying back on Friday. I've had people do that at my job before that we hired from like Houston.
I'm trying not to think about it like that because that's probably true, and I hate that still. Ugh.
And
I mean,
yeah,
if your job, if I told my job that I intended to super commute to work every day, they would laugh in my fucking face. They'd tell me I
Exactly.
need to have an address in the fucking state because for tax implications.
Right,
I'm gonna
because it's stupid.
I'm gonna move to like the mountains and then just tell my job, you know what, Denver's not that far away, so I'm just gonna super commute every day to the office. And then I could just like email and be like, sorry I'm late, flight delay.
What makes it so super? Oh, it's just super inconvenient.
It's super annoying that I have to go to
Flight
the airport
delay.
every fucking day, twice a day.
Flight delay. Weren't you on the private jet, Jay? Oh no, I have to fly Spirit. So, oh, God.
Oh no.
Well, do you guys think it's time for a break?
Probably.
Oh God, yes, it's time for a break.
Well, first, before we go to break, then let's go to our field reporter, John Riley. John.
Listen, whatever the fuck company this is, hey Celia, hey, you, listen, we're gonna have some fucking words, all right? I'm sick of your shit.
John, every time, just absolute gold from you.
Perfect, John.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Gold plated.
Somebody
Absolutely.
get this man a Pulitzer.
We, like an Australian breakdancer, you can't do any better.
Oh God.
God,
Get him we'll get him.
That's so mean.
Oh,
Jesus.
ouch.
Well, then let's go to break before things get way out of hand.
Hey listeners, are you ready to add some spice to your wardrobe? Check out HunkyTops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site that brings you the hottest styles. And here's an exclusive deal just for you, listeners. Get 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES. That's right, 10% off when you use the code SUNDRIES at checkout. They do offer sizes above 3XL. Just hit the contact button and request a larger size and they'll accommodate the best they can. So, what are you waiting for? Visit HunkyTops.com today. Explore their amazing styles and wear your pride with confidence. HunkyTops.com. Wear your pride, live your style. Remember, HunkyTops.com. Use code SUNDRIES for 10% off your first order. Order now! You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast, the news source that's still rated 5 out of 6 balls.
You know, some more positive things about home ownership, since we've kind of gone down a dark little tunnel.
Yeah.
We don't have an HOA, so we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Lucky.
If I want to put a giant goddamn sign in my yard that said "fuck you" to Dan in particular, we could.
Yeah. I went to school with this girl who she grew up in a gated community. But in their HOA, they had recommended days of the week to mow their lawns so that the neighborhood would always smell like fresh cut grass.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
it was based on your house number. If it was odd or even, it was like recommended days to mow your lawn to keep the neighborhood. And it was like, keep your neighborhood smelling great. And it was like all this stupid bullshit. And it was like, couldn't park on the street. And you couldn't have this color of decoration out at any point. You couldn't paint your house this color. The HOA is such bullshit.
We have, on my HOA, we have shingle rules, we have paint rules that you have to kind of hit a specific palette, because we had a house paint their house, it's all brick, but you get like your trim and your garage door, and they painted it a royal purple. And I think within like 2 weeks or a month, they changed it to dark gray.
That's so stupid. See, that's the whole thing. If I'm going to own something, I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want with it.
We're not allowed to have signs.
That is such bullshit.
They took this rule out, but we were not allowed to have exposed trash cans. But literally everyone stored them on the side of their house by the garage door, which is exposed. Yeah. And I was like, I actually moved mine to the backyard because I hated walking out front when I looked like trash, trying to dump my trash.
Jay, look over here. No pictures, please. Oh, God.
And so, I put mine in my backyard. And I also did that because if I ever had an issue with HOA, I want to be like, listen, I'm like the only guy in the neighborhood who fucking follows this rule. So don't piss with me.
Don't fuck with me, fellas.
This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
Well, clearly there's no rule about flags and stupid flags, since your neighbor has that straight pride flag.
Oh my God, I know. I need to. Oh my God! If I ever have to sell this house, I'm so scared that that's going to be an issue.
But your straight pride neighbor? No, just sell it to some redneck.
There you go.
That's true. Screw them out of money. Actually,
sell it to some like recent graduate of like I don't know, is there a trade school down there in OKC? Probably.
Yeah,
And
surely
then
somewhere.
his young wife and like their child that they're about to have, so he can park his giant lifted Silverado in the driveway.
It's a pretty.
that's-
I mean, you're just kind of assuming they're going to be able to afford it. Nobody can afford anything anymore, Joe.
Joe, that's actually very likely to happen in my neighborhood. Somebody with a lifted truck will be like, this is my first house. And because that's kind of what's starting to happen.
They are starter homes, as you said yourself.
They are. I've been in a starter home for September 4th will literally be 9 years.
You should drive slowly through the neighborhood in the Highlander with a giant speaker on the top and be like, just because these are starter homes doesn't mean you can start with me.
Or do start with me.
And then just throw Blanche at them.
Oh, don't throw Blanche.
No, she would hate that.
Oh, she's too sweet.
She's like, ooh, I'll talk into the mic.
Meow.
Blanche, what do you think about the HOA?
Blanche is like, fuck them.
Good job, Blanche.
She
I-
hates anyone that tells Daddy what to do.
I do.
Designated
kind of
shop
like,
cat's got it right again.
as annoying as it is to have to do all the repairs on the house ourselves, like I am kind of glad that we don't have a middleman that we have to deal with. Like when our hot water heater went out, we just went and got a new one. Like,
Yeah.
and we happened to have the money to do it, which is great. So like, we just went and did it. We put it in ourselves, so we didn't have to wait for any of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Also gonna jump in here and throw a big old shout out to YouTube, because I can't count on both hands and feet the number of times we have utilized a YouTube tutorial on a house repair.
YouTube has saved
And-
me a billion times.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like we've replaced toilets, we've replaced sink drains, like ceiling fan things,
I
and the
repaired
hot
my
water
washer.
heater. Yep, and it was all thanks to things on YouTube, which is free.
This shockingly will come out of my mouth. My parents, my stepdad is a commercial plumber, and I'm very thankful for that because that is how I learned to fix plumbing. And I had a backflow flap that got stuck open that basically over time just collected and backed up the entire house. And my stepdad was like, "Oh yeah, somebody would have came out and charged you at least $400 for that." So
Jesus.
That's why they're telling you to get into trade school, because you can just charge whatever you want.
And
And
I-
call it
Because
labor.
college is insanely expensive, and then you don't make nearly as much for it because wages are so stagnant.
and
Yeah,
now
companies will be like, master's degree, whatever. You want $12 an hour? Come on, little piggy.
and now trade jobs are becoming a little more like there's a demand for them because so many people aren't doing trade school anymore. A lot more going to real college trying to get a bigger corporate job because that's the way we push people for a long time. And so now those trades are paying substantially higher, which then increases the price that we have to pay the people that we need the demand for. So it's just this constant cycle. It's exhausting.
But even that is sort of a fucking scam because a lot of the people who come out who are working for these companies, they're contract employees.
Yep.
So you get these electricians, these HVAC repair guys, they're being contracted. They don't have health insurance. They don't have dental insurance. They're contract workers.
Yep.
Yep.
And so a lot of the money just goes straight back to the business and they're just trying to get by just like everybody else. And it is just, it's a whole fuck storm of fuckery that we've allowed in this country because our politicians love sucking at the cock of capitalism.
Yep. That's why I try not to use DoorDash or Instacart or any of those, because I just know that they're contract workers. They're not getting any kind of benefit. They're not getting paid. Which, I mean, like, I could use the service and help them out with a tip, but, like, I'm luckily able-bodied enough and I have a vehicle and means and ways to go get these things. It's just easier to just go do it. But these poor contract workers, they, like Anthony said, they don't have any benefits. They don't have anything behind them. It's really taking over a lot of facets of American life as we know it, and I don't think it's a good thing at all.
But it's not, because we've designed capitalism to basically, so like health insurance, great example, because if you're not employed, you don't get health insurance unless you're paying for it out of pocket, which at that point, you might as well just fucking pray that you don't have anything happen to you. So your health is tied to your employment, and now employers are finding ways around that so that they don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget buying a car one time, and I just kept working on getting the price lower. And he's like, I have to make money on this. And I said, oh, so you just feel like because I'm walking in here and have a salary that now we can exploit this guy so we can profit? And I sat there and went, I have my own life to maintain. I'm the most important person here in my life, not yours or your company.
Yeah, seriously.
And I sit there and went, that is not a valid argument to me. Do you think I'm going to pity you because you need money? So do I.
I was like, you think they're going to sit here? If you're going to sit here and spend a lot of time selling me something and your company doesn't pay you, that's not on me.
And I was just like, if you want to make this money, then finance it yourself with interest, and then you're going to profit finally. But no.
When we traded in my Honda Civic Si to get my current car now, we were at the Hyundai dealership in Joplin, and while we were talking, they kind of lowballed me on the trade, which is common business practice. I shouldn't have been that gagged, but they gave me a little bit less than I wanted, and then they said that it would be too hard for them to sell the vehicle off the lot in the condition or the model or the specs that it was, which I know is bullshit because people love the Civic Si and they love a manual transaction. What the fuck?
Transmission.
Transaction. And I know that was bullshit because I know it was a high-value vehicle. But during the paper signing and like all the banter with waiting for the car to get ready, the guy selling me the car let it slip that his girlfriend was looking for a Civic Si. And I was like, oh.
She bought it like the next day.
I was barely out of the fucking city of Joplin before that bitch was on that lot signing those papers for that Civic. Like, those motherfuckers.
Anyways, I feel like we've deviated so far from homeownership. Do you guys think it's time for a commercial?
Well,
Let's do a couple of quick tips for
it's
our
like we own this
listeners about
podcast. We
homeownership.
can talk about whatever ownership we want.
That's true.
The biggest tip that I think all three of us can agree on would be garage door repair. Don't try to replace the spring.
Oh, yeah, don't. Yeah, I was like, you can do garage door repair, but if that spring fucking breaks, don't touch it. I don't care what it costs. Go whore yourself out on the street corner.
That's the one legit thing I'm actually afraid of.
Yeah, not worth dying over.
I know a couple here in Tulsa, and their garage spring broke while they were in bed, and he said it was one of the loudest noises he's ever heard inside the house. Because the amount of tension and the way those are calibrated, they are just like trained professional all the way. They'll even tell you when they get out there, like, I'm glad you called us because this will kill you.
Yeah. They'll 100% kill you.
Whenever mine broke, it was a different type than the standard spring that now I have. But so the way mine broke, it sounded, I thought my car, I was just pulling in my garage and shutting it off as I shut the garage door or something. And I thought either my transmission blew or something because it did this weird whine, really fast sound. And it was basically just the coil in my garage door just undoing everything. And it was the craziest sound.
I didn't hear ours. I just went out to the garage one day and went to open the garage door, and it wouldn't open. And then I looked up, and the spring was like in half.
Those fucking garage doors are heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
I always thought that they weren't like super heavy, and it's because I've never opened one without the spring.
Yeah. You lose that spring, and you're like, oh, fuck.
It's like power steering, where you don't realize how hard it is
How
to steer a
dependent
car
you
without
are
power
on
steering
that.
until you have to steer one without power steering, and oh my god.
Like, I'm pretty sure I pulled my back trying to get my car out of the garage that day, and I had to mount a ladder under it because I'm, like, putting it on my shoulder, and I'm like,
Holy shit. I have an anti-book stocks moment for you bitches.
uh-oh.
The house I grew up in had a single-car garage, and we had a manual garage door for at least the first half of my life living there. And we had to
Jesus.
stop the car, get out of the car, and we would have to go, and it was a one-piece door, too. So we had to literally lift it up all the way open, pull
Yeah,
the
but was
car
it
in,
not
and
on,
then we
like-
had to push it down with the side bar spring thing.
Did it not have springs or hydraulics?
They were manual. It was like a car trunk, like an old car trunk, but a garage door.
Yeah,
A
but it
one-piece
but it
garage
had some sort of assistance in getting that door open. It wasn't completely
You had to
reliant
get it
on
started.
your strength to get it all the way open, because that's what's happening with these.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
also,
'Cause
you had a
these aren't meant
garage
to
when
be.
you were growing up?
I was just about to say that. I was like, my
Because-
first house, we had no garage. It was just a driveway.
I was going to say, you've seen the house that I grew up in. Like, both we did get a garage eventually, but you see the other one, and it's just fucking gravel outside the house.
My favorite part was Joe's like, "This is my anti-book socks moment," and then he's like,
I'm going to show him how
"We
poor
had a
I was.
garage."
Well, Beardos, I think it's time for a commercial.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, Garage Socks.
Can't wait to edit this episode this week.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the Gay Homeowners Association.
Oh, honey, I'm so glad that we bought our first house together.
I know. I'm so glad to be here with you.
It's such a beautiful neighborhood.
And it looks active. I can see a bunch of people out walking. They might be gays.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've always wanted gay friends.
You can have your wine and gossip nights you've always wanted.
Oh my God, they're coming to the door. I'm so excited. I get to meet them so early.
Well, hello. Can I help you?
Hi, I'm Josh. This is Matt, and this is Rick.
Don't forget it.
And we're the enforcers of the Gay Homeowners Association.
Okay.
First rule of business, we don't like straights in our neighborhood, and we've pushed out all the past ones. And if you guys don't buck up and do what we request, you'll be out next.
Are you threatening us?
No, darling. That's a promise.
Oh my God, they're mean gays.
Oh my god, we just got another letter from the Gay Homeowners Association that says we have to have a mandatory brunch every Sunday with unlimited champagne.
Are they supplying some of the champagne? We can't afford that.
What does that sound?
Oh my God, they're hosting an impromptu pool party in our pool.
There's literally a sign on our back door that says straights not invited.
This is ridiculous.
Maybe we should just get out of here.
I agree. Let's just sneak out the front door.
We'll get an Uber, and they won't even know we left.
Going so soon? By the way, your shutters look tacky. You can't escape us without our say-so.
You're gonna host brunch until the end of time. And your pool is always gonna be available to us.
And just to let you know, when we said we pushed out the last straight, we didn't mean they left by choice. We pushed them right over the edge.
The edge of a cliff.
Sophie, we'll host brunch. Prosecco, okay?
Nothing under $20.
Oh my god, we're gonna go broke.
Not my problem. Breeders.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
Well, thank God the Gay Homeowners Association mandates putting pride flags out in every yard.
And royal purple trim is required on all houses.
Unfortunately, Jay's neighbor made it a straight pride flag, but here we are.
Don't worry,
Well-
I've already filed a complaint.
I was like, I'm pretty sure they're editing the HOA because at first it just said pride flag. So that's where he got that little loophole. Hole.
Yeah, he wants to get a little loophole, all right.
Yeah, but these butthole inspections are getting out of hand.
I know. I gotta find a loophole for my poop hole.
I gotta find a pole for my hole.
Oh,
Wow, wow!
fly something different off that flagpole. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, play me right the upright bass. Anyways, Jay, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week?
We do.
Yay! Finally.
Finally. First, we heard from you guys. I love my intro.
Yay!
That made me happy. It's cute. It's magical. It's majestic. It's got frickin'... Am I going to pronounce this right? Cherubs? What's the word?
Cherubs, that's right.
Cherubs. Okay.
Cherubs.
It's got freaking cherubs. I doubted myself, like, wait a minute, do I know how to read?
Jury's
Love-
still out.
You're right. I'm so tired today. Loved last week's show, and the commercial for 5 Hour Gay Walk was great. I totally get the information bombardment nowadays. Lately, I've started to really throttle just about any notifications. I've completely turned off notifications from my news app. I'll check a quick summary once a day, but that's enough for me. I figure if something important happens, I'll hear about it some way or another. Other than that, the constant notifications for so much can be overwhelming. I've just started taking my phone out of my pocket and setting it slightly out of reach to try to condition myself to not be so attached to it, which at our age is difficult to do nowadays sometimes. When we grew up with so addicted to it. Anyway, not to dive so much into the weeds, overall just wanted to say I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Peter.
Thanks, PETA. I too have been trying to leave my phone places where I can't actually look at it.
P.S. Just to tag onto this point that I'm following along with your other podcast, We're Not Therapists, and I appreciate its candidness, sincerity, and openness of mental health, and was getting its vibes in this episode some, and just wanted to say thank you all for being honest and real. Heart.
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 Thanks,
Thank you.
PETA.
We try really hard to be honest on therapists. In 30 minutes. No more.
No more. If you dare go beyond, I will.
We do not go 1 minute beyond. There's nothing edited out of it, so you get everything that we say between when we start and when we finish.
Exactly.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, if a burglar breaks in while we're in the middle of it, you're going to get me fighting the fucking burglar.
You're just going to hear the glass shatter and then us go, ah! And then an upload.
The burglar steps in. All right, so it started when I was 4.
Yeah, like Anthony's like dead on the floor, and then the burglar sits down. And I'm like, what made you do that? And he's like, oh, man, you know, it's just been a really rough life.
It's just like, look, man, I'm just trying to do a job here.
I got a complaint from the HOA.
Oh, God,
now
Kenny!
here I am.
Run, Kenny!
They're chasing me, again. You're on my foot, fat shit.
Run faster, fat shit! Okay.
God.
Anyways.
Well, thank you, PETA.
Yes, thank you, PETA.
Gales wear Prada shoes.
Next, we heard from Angelo, which
Hello, Angelo. Hello, Angelo.
he had to confirm this with me before he sent it, and so I am reading it from my text message. To whoever it may concern, on Sunday, August 18th, I came to your store to purchase a pair of granny panties that read "wet and juicy" on the butt. When I tried to use my Kohl's cash to pay for them, your very rude, red-headed cashier had the ball to say I couldn't. He then proceeded to tell me, and I quote, "Get the fuck out of my store. I demand he be fired immediately, or I will tell my niece, who works for Superintendent Ryan Walters, to permanently close your store. Also, where's the podcast? I need something to calm my nerves after that traumatic experience. Signed, Karen Smith Johnson."
Okay. We're going to start right at the beginning. What were you doing in the returns bin, finding panties in there?
That wasn't the returns bin. That was my personal locker.
Oh, yeah, they are right next to each other. That is confusing.
Well, that is Anthony's locker. Anything that's just
In the
left,
returns
he
bin.
keeps.
Yeah, you're misunderstanding. They're both the same thing.
Next, that cashier responded exactly to the training manual of the Beards and Sundries Market. So
And
you'll be getting
I know.
Employee of the Month.
And
actually.
I'm proud to have the ball to respond like that.
Oh, he did say ball. Damn it, he meant you.
Nextly, I would say we would try to find Ryan Walters to set him straight, but no one can catch up to him because he keeps running from the news like a little bitch coward that he is.
That sounds
Also,
right.
he's superintendent of schools. If he tried to touch my market, like, this is not educational, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly, we're more educational than the entire state of Oklahoma's curriculum.
And to answer your question about where the podcast was, We have been busy the last several weekends, and holy shit, it turns out trying to have a personal life and work life and try to finish this sometimes does not work well.
Yeah, everyone, we've all been, like, swamped lately. It's been a chaotic month.
Yeah.
Chaotic summer.
Really has.
And so, hoping the fall season kind of slows down for a minute, but
Oh no.
God only knows.
I think you just jinxed us, but I think it was going to happen anyway. We're probably
I know,
gonna see
same
something
here.
crazy happen.
I feel like I have a busy one coming up, so. Anyways, thanks, Angelo.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Angelo.
Karen.
Karen Smith Johnson.
It's Carangelo.
Carangelo.
Carangelo. Welcome to the stage. Boo.
Boo! We hate your Bumpet. Boo!
Carangelo wears Prada shoes. No, I'm kidding.
No, he doesn't. He got them at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Listen,
After
honey,
complaining.
don't you stomp your last year Prada shoes at me.
These aren't last season.
Oh my God! Speaking of going off topic, Elle Woods, you know, remember her two like ditzy friends on the movie? There was the dark-haired one and the blonde. The dark-haired one, I just realized that is the mom in the new Ted series on Peacock.
I'd not heard of the new Ted series on Peacock.
Yeah,
There's a
in
lot
Peacock.
going on there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hang
What's
on.
Ted
Let me-
series on Peacock?
Hang on, I gotta Google something real fast.
So I thought you would know that. I'm sorry, because it's well, I guess if you're not following Family Guy as closely nowadays, you probably wouldn't. But Ted
yeah,
is a
that's
series on
funny.
Netflix now, or Peacock, sorry, and it's actually, I hate to admit, pretty good. I liked it.
You'll never believe this.
But-
that one extra from the movie Speed is now dead.
You know what? Moving on. Fuck you both. Next, we heard from
Derek with the good beard.
Is listening to the podcast at 1.25 speed considered gay speed? Asking for a beardo.
Yeah. Because that's how I listen to my audiobooks.
I've actually been listening to them at regular speed since I've been on drives to Houston, and I don't know. Am I more patient, or is it just because it's a long drive? I'm like, take a while.
That's why. It's a long
That's
drive.
what it is.
Next, we heard from Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Hello, Catherine. Also,
Kath-
thank you, Derek.
Oh yes, thanks, Derek. And
Before we are completely unappreciative, bitch.
sorry,
Yeah, let's
I'm
give
just
Derek-
I'm sleepy.
Thank you, Derek.
Catherine said, "Hello, my loves. A few thoughts from the most recent 2 episodes. 1. Happy to be your only Beardo submitted sundry the other week. 2. After working in healthcare for almost 10 years now, I am convinced that every surgeon either has autism or ADHD, and which one you have helps determine the specialty you end up in. For example, cardio and neurology, autism, which that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Ortho and OBGYN, deaf ADHD. God,
Also makes sense.
you are good. It's
Let me
not
get
a
in
Let's
that
check
pussy.
on that baby. Oh, I gotta clean these Q-tips real quick. Oh, where'd he go?
it's not a question of if you are neurodivergent. It's what flavor do you have?
Just imagine the OBG like down there. Let me look inside that vagina.
All right, Meg, let's take a look at that virgina.
Number 3. I would have very much benefited from 5-hour gay walk in college. Between my short legs and straightness, I felt like I was constantly running. P.S. I did send an email a few weeks ago, and I'm patiently waiting. Lol. Oops. Love you guys. Thanks for making my running and chores less shitty and making me laugh so hard my husband thinks I'm having a medical event. You're welcome. And I'm sorry I've missed your email. You may just need to forward it again because I have been tangled in the life of fucking crazy.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
For about, what, 34 years now?
We're almost 35 years in.
Oh, spicy. Thank you,
Yikes.
Catherine.
Yes,
And
thank you, Catherine.
You were running in college because you were friends with me, so you did have to keep up.
Our next one, I'm so excited. We have an Apple review.
What?
How many words?
None. Literally, the title says, Coach Tim says, ... and then it's an ampersand.
We're so close. We're so close.
So we're still 5 stars, but we've got one that says beards and one that says ampersand. So
This is one of
Looking to
those
you.
moments. This is one of those moments where I'm like, we don't have that many listeners. We're not that big of a show, but like the caliber of the dedicated fan base we do have,
Way higher.
wow,
Definite quality over
You
quantity.
guys always kill
absolutely
it.
worth it.
Thanks, Coach Tim. That's incredible. I can't
Oh
wait.
my god, yeah.
I see you behind the bleachers.
Right before we started recording, I was like, I'm going to check Apple and see what popped up. And I was like, oh my god, I'm in love. Whoever.
That's incredible. Please, one more person. One more review.
Just one more.
We can shut the whole thing down after that one review.
Oh, and then lastly, we heard from
Aaron Choi.
and
I
he
forgot about the wind
Graphic
chimes.
for that.
I know. And Aaron actually sent us a video, and I thought, because I have yet to have the opportunity to even watch it, I was going to let you guys go over it if you wanted.
I'd say play the video. Well,
want to?
it's kind of long.
I was
Never
like,
mind.
it's 18
Is it
minutes.
copyrighted? Oh my god!
It is
it's
a
18 minutes?
very. I don't know if it's copyrighted.
Is it the one
or
he
not.
sent us? The one about
It is,
finding
yes.
love and
Mhm.
oh yeah, I haven't watched it. Oops.
I thought somebody could like summarize it more because I did not
I
have the
haven't watched
opportunity to
it.
watch it yet.
Anthony's watched
So,
it.
yes, I watched it at
You
my
were gonna
lunch
make
the
it
other
something
day.
to check out, weren't you?
I was just gonna make it because Aaron asked for it to be a Beardo submitted sundry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Aaron sent us a video called "A Straight Man Searches a Gay Campsite for Lost Love," and it is about a very specific gay campsite that's existed since I believe the 80s. I want to say
Okay.
maybe earlier than that. But it is both semi-documentary and semi-fictional, and it is about a guy who is going to this campground in search of somebody who worked on his family farm when he was a teenager, and he's got to be well into probably his 40s at this point, maybe even older than that. And so he's going in, he's got a family, he's straight as it appears, and but he's going in and looking for this guy, and it sort of unfolds with him experiencing this, and you get to know the campground a little bit better, and it just talks a lot about like it's really about a missed opportunity for somebody who stayed in the closet for years and years and years after finding love with somebody who was same sex at a time that it just was not as acceptable at all. I mean, not that it's even was super acceptable whenever I was that age, but it really hit home. It made me very sad. It made me want to cry. It also reminded me of how like fragile our community can be, and how we surround ourselves a lot with our own community, and it's easy to forget what else is out there, and it's easy to forget that we might look a little different from the outside looking in, and it was just a real unique perspective. I know I've been really bad about show notes lately, and it really is just for the sake of my own sanity. But I will make sure I add this link in the show notes because it's worth a watch. And it's about 17 or 18 minutes long, so it does take a little bit, which is why we are not going to show it to you here. But it's really good, and you guys should watch it 100%.
Interesting. I definitely need to squeeze that in. I just haven't had the opportunity yet.
It is a bit of a watch. I feel like when he sent it to us, we were all three at work, and I happened to be in a space where I could just watch it right then.
Yeah, I was actually out of town.
Yeah. So I get it. And when Joe's at work, like, he can't watch anything until his breaks. And even then, his breaks, it's a matter of, not everybody can use their phone at work.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you, Aaron. That was a really good share, and I'm excited to
Yes,
share
it
it with you
was.
guys.
Thank you.
And that is all I have on user content this week, which was quite a bit.
Perfect. Well then, do you guys want to have a bitch sesh about something? Is that where we're at?
Please,
Oh my god. We haven't bitched
Yeah.
enough yet.
Yeah, Joe, go for it.
Okay, well, I can give you guys a good story about my day today.
A good bitchin'.
I was off today, so I decided to be an adult and do adult things.
Ew.
Strike number 1.
Yeah, bad choice.
So I have some labs that needed to get done to continue the prescriptions that I'm on, and they were ordered on July 10th. Oops. So I went ahead and went to the doctor's office today, and I walked in and I was like, hey, is there any chance that these labs are still here? Can I get them done? I know it's a walk-in. I don't know if you guys are busy. And she was like, no problem. She looked me up in the system, found me. I got the labs done. I was in and out within like maybe 10 minutes.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
It was all downhill from there. So then I thought to myself, wow, that went really well. Maybe I've been looking for a nose hair trimmer for a while because we can't find the attachment for ours. So I was like, I'll just hit up like a Walmart real quick, right down the road because we're in the heart of Walmart Nation. And I was like, whatever, I'll just go find a Walmart. Walk into the Walmart, I get to the clippers. Half of them are behind glass because they were more than $40, so I had to keep them away from theft.
Right.
And so there were no nose hair trimmers, and there were no clippers that had attachments for one. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just look it up on Amazon. Got one on my Amazon cart. I'm probably going to buy it in the next couple days. So that was a bust. And then the other thing I was looking for was a new no solicitor sign for our front door because the one we had peeled and started to fall down a little bit, so you couldn't read it. So people have been knocking on our door and leaving things on our doorknob. So I don't like them
Don't
running
come
with
and
the
knock
dogs.
on our door.
I don't like them knocking on the door, so we had to get a new sign. So I was like, well, I couldn't find them there because all they had were garage sale signs. So I was like, okay, well, I know they have them at Lowe's. I'll just go to a Lowe's. There's one a couple miles down the road. Get to this Lowe's. I start to walk to the back corner where I know that the signs and mailboxes are always at because they're always in the same spot at every Lowe's. They're in the back corner by the lumber department. Well, not at this one. They were apparently in aisle 2, right by the front door, and I walked right past them. The other thing I walked right past was an employee traveling on a forklift to an unknown location on my way to the back corner. So I look it up on the Lowe's app, and I'm like, oh, they're aisle 2, so I will walk back across the entire store. Great. I get to aisle 2. Guess who's in aisle 2 right in front of the mailboxes and
The
signs?
forklift person?
The forklift! Blocking off the aisle! So I was already starting to spiral. So instead of asking, excuse me, can I just get in there real quick? I didn't know how long she was going to be. I was like, whatever. I just left. I just took a deep breath and walked out and left.
Sometimes it's the right answer.
The fun part about these new store layouts is you can't just walk out the door you walked in. No, that's too simple. You have to walk through the entire maze of self-checkout stands past a couple of employees, and then you can get to the exit door. So I had to do that whole song and dance to get out the exit door. I decided I'll go up to another Lowe's. It's fine. There's another Lowe's right up the road. I get to the other Lowe's. I get the sign. Everything's good. It says no solicitors, all in block letters. It's a little less polite than the one we had already because I'm not feeling very polite these days. So that's on the door. It's all good. I got that installed. And then it was almost time for my haircut at 2 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock at this point. So I ran and got some McDonald's because I was hungry. And
Did you get the collector's cup?
Okay. No. So I got my McDonald's. I ate it real quick. It was probably the high point of the afternoon, honestly. And then I got my hair cut, which was great. Looks good. Everything's good. Thank you to our amazing hairstylist. And then I came home and mowed the lawn. So that was also fun because we didn't get a chance to mow the backyard last week, so it's got super high.
It was
so
high, yeah.
that one, the backyard took 3 entire bags almost of clippings. But
Sorry.
it's all good. No, it's fine. The lawn's mowed. Everything's good now. So hopefully the rest of the day will go smoothly. And that's my bitch session for my day off.
I got home and I was pulling up to the yard and I saw that Joe mowed, and then I was getting out of my car and I do this thing where I walk around to my passenger door because I have a big cooler bag I take with me to work to put all my snacks and drinks of the day and my soup du jour, if you will. And there was this strip of grass between the middle yard like pavers that we have and like the front of the house that was just like not cut, and I was like, oh, he left us a landing strip.
You know, Joe, I can technically make those signs with my vinyl cutter.
Fuck, I should have just done that.
So we can custom make one to be as rude as you want.
For a
Fuck
quick
you.
PS,
No fucking solicitors.
For a quick PS, at the second Lowe's I was at when I finally got my sign, I went through self-checkout because that's the only way to do anything anymore because no one pays for cashiers. Anyway, I get to the self-checkout, I scan my little sign, I put it in the tray area, I go to pay, I hit pay, and it says, please return the scan gun to the tray and then hit OK. I looked down at the scan gun that I had not touched the entire time. It was sitting happily in its cradle. So I picked it up and I put it back. And a little red light came up by charge or whatever, and then I hit the OK button on the screen, and it said, a store associate will be here to assist you momentarily.
You know what's funny about that sign, that message? I think it just says that every time, no matter whether or not
It's
you touch
purely
the scan
just a
gun.
reminder.
Because I went in and got, I can't remember what I got from Lowe's. Maybe it was one of those strip lights I still need to take back, but like, it said that, and I was having one of your days, except I think I might have been like a little more pissy, and so I was just like, fuck you, and I hit OK, just waiting for it to give me an error, and it didn't do anything. It just took me to check out.
It's intended to do that so that way you'll put it back on the charger so the battery doesn't die for other people that are coming through.
Yes, definitely. But there was a fault in the gun itself, and it didn't think that it was on the cradle. So no matter what was going to happen, it wasn't going to let me go on.
It seems like a lack of foresight to have something so technologically advanced as a Lowe's self-checkout, because their self-checkout's like nice.
There's all
Yeah, it
It
is.
doesn't have a sensor on their scan gun to say whether or not it's docked. Like,
I think it
that
did.
feels like such a
it
big
just
oversight.
was broken or something. I don't know. Which was
Anyways.
ironic for a hardware store.
I mean, it should say, okay, I detect that the scan gun is docked because it is charging. There is a connection there, and skip that screen.
I think that the connection was just interrupted or something.
It's just like yes, no programming. I know I'm not like a programmer, but that is pretty on-off.
It is weird to me how companies do that. Like, the technology's out there, and all you have to do is be like, look, here's a connection that I can just recognize that it's connected. But instead, they're like, let's go the short route. It's cheaper.
It's
Just
cheaper.
make everybody
It's
hit okay.
cheaper. Yeah.
And there's something about the extra clicks. Okay, actually, this is just going to stray me down. We talked about this last week, but when a fucking self-checkout gives me an error of any sort, like, I bought meat, I scan it, I put it on in the bag, and it's like, item detected, hasn't been scanned, or doesn't match weight, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. This is not my fault that your machine is not recognizing the weight that's read on the ticket. This is your issue, not mine. This is fuck you.
Yeah.
I want to take the
agree.
people who are calibrating these weights and just punch them in the fucking face over and over again.
But on
But I
top
mean,
of
it's
that,
the same thing we talked about earlier. It's like the cheapest thing they can possibly do.
on top of that, I also do not know how, when I used to work self-checkout, how much I wanted to like slam parents' faces into the machine when their fucking kids would climb on it, and then they would look
Yeah,
at
fuck
me
those
annoyed
kids.
that the scale is messing up, and I finally would be like, it's because this is a scale. Your kids can't be on it.
It thinks your child is a rotisserie chicken.
And oh my god, that made me so mad when they would be mad at me because their kids are playing on the machine. I was like, well, if you knew that this
That's
was a
how
scale,
parents
that's an
fucking
idiot.
are, though, in the U.S. I mean, that's a whole other episode.
That's a
we could
whole
get into.
other
Well,
episode.
It's that, and it goes on to ragging on teachers because. Okay, yeah.
It's a whole different episode.
I can't talk.
We
I can't
could go
talk.
down a rabbit hole on this one.
That's a great way to get on my bad side, is to badmouth teachers. But we're going to talk about that some other time.
Yeah, seriously. But right now, I think that I hear the music coming
I
back
do
on,
too.
and it's the Lowe's Nose song.
Oh, God. From
But-
the House Depot.
Right, right, correct. But go call our hotline real quick at 405-999-2242 and leave us a voicemail as Jodie Foster to open our next episode.
Ooh, yes, please. And Beardos, we're running out of duct tape for repairs around the market, so it's time for us to run on down to Lowe's and fuck up their self-checkout. If you'd like to help us out, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. And you know exactly what review to leave now.
I can't wait until we get sundries, just all of a sudden popping up.
I wonder how many people are going to leave, like, almost the word sundries as a review. It would be like sundry, and then, like, just stop in the middle of the word.
And then the review after that will be Angelo as Karen, and it just says,
or it'll be like,
sucks!
We'll get a review that says S, and then one that says U. And then people will just... Anyways.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget, if each one of you could tell a friend about the podcast, that would double our growth, and we would love you forever.
You can also donate to my refrigerator fund on our social media. No, I'm kidding. Go visit us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. Visit our website, beardsandsundries.com, where you can also visit the Buy Merch button and go buy cups and clothing. And email us. We'd love to hear from you at beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
No, Jay, we'll just take a drive down to George and Anthony's house and take their fridge instead.
I know. I texted George today, and I was like, send to the fund, or just send your fridge.
And remember, you can't spell homeowner without meow. So, from the three of us here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to...
Send me money. Love yourself.
Hey, send me money.
Because we already meow you already?
Meow.
Oh, meowner.
Bye, Beardos.
Bye.
Because we love you so